Hey, we're about to start the show, and you know the drill. If you've been here before and you have something important to share, please add a capital letter Q to your comment. And if you are watching live for the first time, please let us know by writing the word new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Enjoy the broadcast. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, where we make connections among ourselves, connections with our city, state, and country, connections with the good news and the interesting news and shady news that we find out there. Sometimes the news just gets shady, and there's only so much we can do about that. But I know you're curious about the shady stuff. You revealed so yesterday when I told you about the priest. And I said, well, do you want to know about the priest? And everybody wrote priest. So because we aim to please, we have more updates on the priest. We have other updates as well, so I hope you have your favorite beverage on hand, close to you. On this Wednesday, May 8th, 2 days away from Mother's Day, which is on Friday, not on Sunday, as some gringos, well, never mind. It is on Friday. But today is not Friday, today is Wednesday. We have news to share. I see some beautiful people already in the chat, but I'm going to resist the temptation to see what you're up to. Instead, let us just dive into the news to see what is happening out there. Boom, 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 boom. And we'll start with this, which is rather interesting, at least to me. CPS Noticias, which is a local news outlet, asked a single question to all candidates to become Puerto Vallarta's next mayor. The question was, what are your plans when it comes to culture? And not all of them answered. And there is one that I had not even heard of, the one in the middle. But let's go left to right. On the left, I give you Ramón Guerrero from the Movimiento Ciudadano. He's been a mayor before, and we didn't like him. He was responsible for, well, let's not even begin whipping out the inventory from his past term as Puerto Vallarta mayor. But when he was asked the question, he proposed that it is the local artistic community that should decide who should lead the Vallarta Cultural Institute moving forward. And he also proposed the construction of a municipal theater. Now, we refer to the institute or the Instituto de Cultura as the city's Department of Culture. Sometimes we refer to it as the Institute of Culture. It is the same entity. It is the entity that decides what kind of cultural affairs or events are organized for our city. That's just as an FYI because it becomes relevant in a little while. Then in the middle, the guy in the red is a certain Alonso Camacho from the Partido del Trabajo, or the Labor Party. I had not even seen his name before as a mayoral candidate, but here he is. And he proposed the creation of a museum with archaeological pieces from all over Mexico that would also feature exhibitions and activities with local artists. Perhaps he didn't get the memo. We already have an archaeology museum. It just happens that it's never open. It's on the Río Cuale. And then on the right-hand side, we have Luis Munguia from the Partido Verde, who spoke about the creation of a municipal museum as well, and also insisted on placing the proper person in charge of the Vallarta Cultural Institute. So two of them had something to say about who directs the Cultural Institute, who makes decisions on our city's cultural events and development. And it's worth remembering that the guy presently in charge got the gig as a campaign promise by Mayor Michel when he began his administration. And you may be thinking, well, where is Chuyita Lopez from the Morena party in this photograph? Well, she did not send a proposal. And what about other candidates that we don't hear much about, such as Melissa Madero of the Future Party or the Partido del Futuro? And what about Luz Amparo from the Hagamos Party? Well, they did not send proposals either. So there you have it. That's culture in Puerto Vallarta for you. And but let's go back to Chuyita Lopez, the mayoral candidate for the Morena Party and wife of former Mayor Luis Michel. She is under a lot of pressure after a statement she made recently. She promised to eradicate corruption in the local administration. And boy, is that an eye roller. Where is our eye roller? Let's whip her out for a second. 1, 2, 3. You see, oh my goodness. She was quick to criticize other candidates, then somehow she forgot her husband's government as mayor of our city and how it was plagued with political scandals when it comes to corruption. A specific one of those scandals comes to mind. You know, the Michel family, you know, her family has had a water pipe family business for many years, supplying water around the city where it's needed. But there is that little detail of the ghost water pipe company that the city was paying considerable amounts of money to deliver water. And when somebody visited the offices of this company, it turned out it was a private home. And the municipality's director of acquisitions, Rosalba Paola Torres, is involved in this particular situation. And despite the fact that the city council has summoned her repeatedly to testify on her behalf, she hasn't done so. She's apparently being protected by former Mayor Michel. So do we want to have anything to do with this party or these people? Not really, I must say. And it's been 10 days since Francisco Sanchez Gaeta from the Partido Verde was murdered, and the state's attorney's office has yet to reveal any information about the crime. Just an average day here in paradise, if you ask me. And moving right along, SEAPAL has announced that while they're building retaining walls around the Río Cuale near Gringo Gulch in preparation for the rain season, they might as well also address some pipes that are leaking sewage water onto the Río Cuale. These pipes happened to collapse during last year's hurricane season, and since this collapse affected a few homeowners, apparently at least one of these homeowners is pitching in to see the repairs completed. Yesterday, we talked briefly about the Chilpancingo priest that was kidnapped, or maybe not. This article brings us up to speed in case you want to read all the dirty details. He is actually not just any old priest. He is Bishop Emeritus Salvador Rangel, who continues to be under the effect of drugs he received during the incident, so he has not been able to make a statement to the authorities. So the official reports have been really murky, as we mentioned yesterday. He is 78 years of age, and on Saturday, April 27, he left his home early in the morning to do some errands and did not return. 2 days later, he was reported as missing, and he was found in a Cuernavaca hospital emergency room, unable to speak. And in his belongings, there were some questionable items that, well, they found lube, condoms, and Viagra. And then it was revealed that he had entered a hotel voluntarily with another man. And so it's all really, really murky. I don't know what to tell you, but this is what's happening with the priest. And I bring it up not because it has anything to do with our quality of life here in paradise, here in Puerto Vallarta, but only because you expressed curiosity about this the other day, yesterday. And then one more before we continue with the rest of the broadcast. A series of planned power outages in Mexico City's metropolitan area were needed to protect the country's electrical grid, which found itself in overload mode yesterday evening. Too much demand for electricity was taking place, so the Federal Electricity Commission, or CFE, had no choice but to shut down electricity in some places. Similar outages were also reported elsewhere around the country. No, I don't mean to get into a panic here, and nobody should, but it is a good thing that these things are happening, because if this is indeed a sign that our current electrical grid is no longer able to handle the demand, and particularly this year when things are getting warmer earlier than usual, then it's a good thing that they're having an eye-opener, and hopefully they will take the necessary measures to keep us nicely connected. And now let's have a look at this.
What's the deal with classical music? It turns out it's not all serious business. Delve into the chuckle-worthy compositions deliberately crafted to tickle your funny bone. Meet performers who thrive on adding a dash of humor to the classical scene. And let's not forget those unexpected hiccups during performances that turn into comedy gold. Join me for What's So Funny, where we will explore the lighter side of classical music because, well, why not? Grab your tickets for a laughter-filled evening this Thursday at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work. It's a steal at 300 pesos per person. Hurry, seats are as limited as a virtuoso's range.
Yes, and it's happening tomorrow. I'm so excited. It is ready. I just need to fine-tune a couple of things here and there, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to look at some very funny music. We're going to sneak in a couple of ballet performances, and we're going to spend the second half taking a look at Camille Saint-Saëns' glorious composition, The Carnival of the Animals, which is very, very funny. But now let's take a look at the weather. It is 27 degrees right now. Humidity is low at 60%. Yes, that would be low for our standards. Not a bad day. And today we can expect it to be humid with mostly clear skies throughout the day, a high of 29 and a low of 20. Then tomorrow, Thursday, will be another humid day. We might as well just say it. It's going to be humid between now and October. But tomorrow, humid with clear skies, a high of 29 and a low of 19. And then Friday, humid day with clear skies throughout the day, a high of 29 and a low of 20. And now we do have, where's my cursor? There it is. We do have a couple of other things that I wish to share with you. Let me click on this very quickly. Oh, yes, this is dicey. This is dicey. The Federal Consumer Protection Bureau is now directing its efforts at tequila, and particularly tequila that is branded as such, but is either not actually tequila, or the quantities contained in the bottles are not actually what they're advertising. So rather than getting into details as to what the standards are supposed to be, I'll simply cut to the chase and tell you the brands that did not pass the test, which are Cantinero, Don Roberto, La Arango, Tesón, and Olmeca Tesón. These are 5 tequila brands that are kind of dubious. The good thing is that they're not very popular or well known, and they're not what we would consider to be the good stuff. So since I know that you love the good tequila and you've been shopping for the best, then you have nothing to worry about. And this afternoon, there's this production of Hedwig and the Angry Inch going on at the Palm Cabaret. It's been receiving all kinds of rave reviews. And this afternoon, in the spotlight, we will have a chance to interview Jordon Carnegie, the lead actor behind this project, and find out more about the production and why we shouldn't miss it. This is going to be, of course, part of the spotlight. We're also going to welcome Carmen Porras to tell us the latest news about Oculto, her private dinner restaurant project. So I'm excited to converse with both of them. This will be live today at 4. And if you're not able to watch live, then you can watch it whenever you have the time. But I think it's going to be a fun interview afternoon, at least for me, hopefully for you as well. And with that, let us take a quick look as to what you're up to. There are not a lot of comments today, which means you're absolutely mesmerized with every word I'm saying. Or maybe not. Good mornings all around. I love good mornings. And... oh, Albert, what do you mean you miss the humidity? You cannot possibly miss the humidity. Let's see what else we have. Here's Carmen. Speak of the devil. We look forward to conversation with you, Carmen. Hoy en la tarde nos vemos. It should be a lot of fun. Claude, it's always a pleasure to see you. Yay. And, Linda has a cue. Linda says, our stay in PB was a blast. Return to San Diego with bitchin' memories. It was micro. See my husband's family to count. It was micro. See my husband's family too many to count. I don't get that part, but I'm glad that you left with bitching memories. I hope you come back soon. It was nice to see my husband's family. I love it. And this brings us to the end of today's broadcast. And because I unplugged and plugged some things, I cannot put my usual sign up there because my little switcher is not connected. But as always, I thank you for your support. I thank you for being around. And I thank you for all the wonderful things that you bring to the table. Tomorrow is Music Appreciation Day, but hopefully I'll see some of you at the Spotlight this afternoon, 4 o'clock, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. If I don't see you, stay kind, stay cool, stay happy, and I will see you again tomorrow morning. Have a good one.